Good morning, Facebook. We'll be getting started in just a minute. Actually, still waiting for our guest to jump on with us. Mr. Corey Mills, as you know, it is the first Tuesday of the month, so it is time for Homeowners Corner. With that being said, please stand by. KLK 102.5 FM. Good morning, and welcome once again to Community Conversation. Good morning, Mr. Corey.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. As you guys know, it is the first Tuesday of the month, which means it's time for Homeowners Corner with Mr. Corey Mills.
How you all doing this morning?
Joining in at the nick of time.
I know, right? I was like, oh, this computer is slow this morning. All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Coming off from this extended weekend, only 4 days in this week, business days in this week. So I am excited. We got a lot to do. All right.
A lot to do, and that's time to do it in.
Yes, ma'am. You did receive that email this morning? Look like.
I did.
Good deal.
And today we're going to be touching once again on 100% financing and how we can get that going on.
All right. I appreciate
Turn it around to you,
ma'am.
as I'm going to turn it on over to you.
All right, and I appreciate LJ for allowing us to be here this morning. Today is September the 6th. Man, this year is going by fast. And we again are back at the Homeowners Conversation Corner, and we're going to talk about, I want to go back over this 100% finance, because we know interest rates are up, the recession is real, everything is inflated. So therefore, you would assume one would possibly not have as much savings as they might have previously. So therefore, we want to give options that are out there for those that don't have the hefty savings or don't have that money saved up to put on a down payment, far as on your down payment for your loan. And then of course you're going to need your closing costs. So today I want to recap on some of those 100% financing products that are available. Again, these products I will go through individually. We have our, you have your rural development loan. Those are deemed property that are pretty much out in rural territory. Now, we do have to enter that particular property's address into a database that will actually show us if that property is in the eligibility zone. So I wouldn't want to say just a particular location is located in a particular rural development area, but I would definitely look into that address to zoom in particularly, because what we've seen over time, rural housing has updated their mapping zone, and what used to be in that territory could now not be in that territory, or it could be right across the street. You have an odd number on this side of the street, you have an even number on this side of the street, and that odd number may not qualify for. So therefore, we like to put that actual address into the database to get a actual green eligibility area. So What is rural housing? Rural housing is a government product that allows those that are in rural territories to apply for 100% financing. That means you don't have to put anything down on your down payment. Now, you still will have closing costs and all of those things. And the seller can pay up to a certain amount of your closing costs. So if this deal is worked correctly and the numbers are justifiable, there's a possibility and a good chance that you wouldn't have to come to the table with much money as far as a down payment and your closing costs. If that seller is willing to pay some of your closing costs, I don't remember the exact number, but they can pay up to a certain percentage of that purchase price of your closing costs. So if you got that agent, you being transparent with the agent, you being transparent with that lender going into that particular loan application or the loan scenario, you want to say, hey, I don't have any down payment money. I don't have closing costs. I don't have much of a savings. What options do you have for me? And I will understand in somewhere out in the county, typically county means CR roads. Anything here in Craighead County, you're gonna have CR, county road, blah, blah, blah. So, and you might have different cities that are deemed rural as well. But again, remember I said we have to put their address into the database to show if it's an actual eligibility zone. So if you work there right, you can get that agent to probably try to negotiate the seller to pay your closing costs. Now, this is something the seller does not have to do. But if you have a seller that's pretty generous and looking to get off the property, they may be looking to upsize or buy something else, they may be generous enough to pay your closing costs. So that's definitely something that you want to tell your realtor and also let your loan officer know your financial situation as far as savings. Now, I'm not going to go real in depth on that. If you have any questions, you can follow up with me. We can go in detail on more about that rural development loan. Another product we have that's 100% financing. It's also a government product, and that's dealing with your VA loan. So those VAs, give me a second here to pull this screen up. VA consider those that serve or are in active duty of any Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, or Coast Guard. So those that participate in and has retired legitimately through those agencies could qualify for 100% financing. Now, there are fees on the back end on the rural development law, I believe, that you have to pay in your closing costs. But again, you can get the seller to try to pay some of those for you. With that VA loan, if you are a spouse to a veteran, and you could possibly qualify for it. But if you are a spouse that has been divorced from someone that was a veteran and now you are remarried, that spouse would not be deemed qualifiable for a veteran loan, a VA loan. So that's another product that we have that we offer here at Banco South. The VA loan is offered 100% financing. That's a great thing if, like I said, you're military. We also offer here at Banco South what we call community heroes. Anyone that's a VA, a veteran, firefighter, anything like that, we offer $500 discount on their administration fees. So there are a lot of good programs out there for VA. We look at and try to respect those titles and give as much discount as we can, being with those members that serve our country. The next thing we have, we went on our rural development, and we also went over the VA loan. The next thing we have, I will go into portfolio loans. Now, if you remember me in the past, you have your conventional loans, secondary market loans, and then you also have portfolio loans. Well, portfolio loans are loans that the bank, we take more of the risk of putting those on our portfolio, on our books. So we don't have to go, we have to go by some of the guidelines, but we're more a little bit leaning on how we can, the discount in terms that we can do on those particular portfolio loans. And some of the portfolio loans that we have here at Banco South that offers 100% financing, you might have heard me speak about our Right at Home product. Now, that's a great product for first-time home buyers or those that do not own a home at the time of closing. So if you were in a previous property and let's say we were to close, today is the 6th. Let's say you were to close next week, but you sold your property that you're in now on the 7th. So if you do not own a property at the time of closing on this particular loan product, you can use this right at home product for 100% financing. Now, with this particular loan product, you are required to put $500 down towards your administration fee. So the 100% financing, that means you don't have to put anything 3.5, 5%, 3%, anything like that. But you will be required to put $500 towards your administration fee. Okay, that is a portfolio loan that is offered by Bancorp South. Now, also with that right at home loan, I think personally it's a great product for those that again don't have those hefty savings saved up, looking to purchase their first home. We do require that you take a HUD certified course, a home ownership course that you can do online if you do not want to take a class with that in live person. You can do that online. We have those options for you. Now, with this particular product, your credit score must be about no less than a 640 for this particular loan product. It's based off two things with this particular right at home product. It's based off the location of the property and the income of the applicant or the application. So if it's two people on this application, let's say Jonesboro, we look at 80% of the average median income. So that is, I think it's 53, 52 some thousand here will bring us at about $44,204, I believe. Don't quote me on that, just getting some numbers off my head right now. So you can make about $44,240 and qualify for this loan. Remember, that's per application. So if you have two people on the application, you cannot exceed that amount at $44,000. Now, that's particularly for Craighead County only. All these average median incomes are per county. So if we're in Mississippi County, it's going to be different from Jonesboro. If we're in Crittenden County, Jackson County, wherever we may be, we're going to have to look at that income of that particular county to say what's the max that you can make. Okay, that's the income side of it. The second part of that is the location, either or. So if the property is located within a census tract area, that we look in the government data, ffiec.gov, I believe, or .com, and we look at that property. If that property is located within a low or moderate income census tract, then there is no cap on income. You can make as much as $1 million. If you don't own a home at time of close and you fit within the debt to income criteria of that particular product, you can get 100% financing on that home. So that's a good thing. You have right now, they haven't changed the census tract. They change it up every year, but they haven't came out with the 2022 stats yet on their website. So if nothing changes, you can purchase, I want to say within the downtown area, Jonesboro, Arkansas, you have a lot of huge historic homes down there, pretty expensive. Those, as of now, are in one of those census tract zones that you do not have an income cap on. So again, looking at where their property is located, and then second part, how much does the application income make? So if it was just me on that application, I made $40,000 a year, I can pretty much buy anywhere in the city of Jonesboro and get that 100% financing if I qualify with my credit and fit within the debt to income ratio measures. Now you ask what's debt to income ratio. Now if you're a previous subscriber or viewer of this Homeowners Corner, then you know the debt to income ratio is how much debt that you have versus how much income you have coming in. How much debt you got going out, how much income is coming in. So if you had $2,000 a month debt, everything on your credit and your housing expenses, and you bring in $4,000 a month, that's a 50% debt to income ratio. So that's pretty much how it works. So with the right of home, we cannot exceed a 43% DTI ratio. So therefore, that means you have to stay right there. Now, if you go over that, now you're gonna have to start coming out of pocket with some money to put down towards this loan product. One more thing I forgot to mention about that right at home product, which is also awesome, is that it does not require private mortgage insurance. Now, if you all know that anything, if you don't put down 20% on the loan, on a conventional loan, you're going to have to pay mortgage insurance. What is mortgage insurance? Mortgage insurance is insurance that require that kind of covers the bank if you do not make your mortgage payment. It may pay up to a certain amount, depending on the coverage you have and what company you choose, to pay some of your mortgage if you come in a situation where you can't pay your mortgage. Again, mortgage insurance is required on pretty much all your secondary loans. Your FHA is going to require some type of insurance every month. Your conventional loans are going to require mortgage insurance up to, like I said, that 20% down payment. Now, this on a right at home is from the initial start of that loan. You do not have any mortgage insurance. Or typically on a conventional loan, once you pay that $100,000 loan down below $80,000, you get to 79, then your mortgage insurance will fall off. So that kind of give you a grasp of how that mortgage insurance works. The next product we have is, let me go to my list. We also have our medical professional program. This is also 100% financed and also has no mortgage insurance as well. What is a medical professional deemed termed as in this particular loan product? Eligible physicians are a new or established physician, medical residents, medical fellows, doctors of osteopathic medicine, dental surgeon, dental medicine, or ophthalmologist. So those particular doctors will qualify for 100% financing with no mortgage insurance as well. Their credit scores have to be a little bit higher because the loan amount caps at a certain amount. I want to say the maximum loan amount, you can get up, let me see here. On a 680 credit score, I want to say we have here 750 maximum credit loan amount that we can get on that particular loan product. So again, inbox me about those particular specifics because I don't want to give anything wrong here. My notes are kind of dated. We've done a bunch of updates here. So I want to make sure I give you the correct information. So again, that medical professional is one of the products we have here at Banco South, or our portfolio loan. We have that right at home loan, which is also a portfolio loan that we have here at Banco South, or should I say Cadence now. And then also we have your typical secondary market things where you have your VA loan and your RD. So those are some of the 100% financing products that we have available at Bancorp South. And there also are programs available out there through the down payment assistance program. If you don't have those savings saved up, there are methods that are out there and available to those through AFA. You have help funds that out of Dallas, the Dallas Bank, and then the city of Jonesboro also offers some type of down payment assistance program. So those are that do not have healthy savings. Those are some options for you to consider or to look into to assist you with your down payment or your closing costs. Again, I touched earlier about the 100% financing products that we have. We have VA, the RD, the right at home, and then that medical professional program that we have. So those are the things you don't have to come to the table with as far as down payment. Now, if you don't have a lot of savings saved up, then you have options out there that assist you with down payment grants and things like that. Like you have AFA. They have the down payment assistance program. They also have an ADDI program. That the ADDI program is a forgivable. So that means, what does a forgivable mean? That means within the amount of time of that loan with their terms, that you will not have to pay down payment of those closing costs that you get from them back. Now, those are a little bit tedious. They're really layered on their guidelines and qualifications factors. So we have to really look into your situation, because it does look at your income as far as the ADDIE program. It looks at the income and household size. So, and also it's real slim on your debt to income ratio, where I mentioned before, you have on the right at home 43% DTI. Now with any ADDIE program, you cannot exceed 45% debt to income ratio, but it's a front end ratio and a back end ratio that's really tricky on the ADDIE, that you have to qualify within also some of the new things that they implemented this year. Now with their down payment assistance program, that's what we consider a second mortgage. Now you'll have your first mortgage, which is just for the loan amount, and then you get a second loan for your down payment and closing costs. And that goes up to a certain dollar amount that'll max out. So long as you fit within, if you have the first loan, and let's say you're at a 40% debt to income ratio, and you want to use the DPA program through AFA, long as that second loan on top of that first loan, all your debt together doesn't exceed that 45% ratio, then you can use that as a second loan to put on to help out with your down payment and your closing costs. So you're going to have two notes. You're going to have that first mortgage, and then you're going to have that loan you took out for your down payment assistance program. So there are ways and things available to help out with those looking to purchase their first home, or those that just don't have a lot of savings. So there are programs out there that we can look into, see what best fits you, what you will fit best in, that we can try to get you in your home. So don't look at it as I don't have that much savings. There's not an opportunity out there for me. Yeah, there are programs out there. So definitely want to get with your lender and ask them, do they participate? We at Bancorp South, Cadence Bank, we are one of the partners with the AFA program, and we do offer those products.
Awesome. Going to our Facebook Live real quick. Shout out to Mr. Derek Coleman and Ms. Nadine Coleman. They actually had a question.
Okay.
More specifically, Mr. Derek, and it kind of goes around off the subject, but I want to go ahead and get his question in there. It says, what's the credit score to get a loan, personal or business? He says he has a 685 and Ms. Nadine has 700 plus.
Okay, I want to say with those scores, they just don't look at the scores, but as far as just the scores themselves, it sounds like they will be qualifying. Now, my expertise is in mortgage lending, personal loans, and business loans, where you have to go through the commercial side of the bank and get information from those particular loan officers. I'll be glad to shoot you over any contacts we have here to connect you with someone that can answer those questions more in depth for you. But those scores, from what the conversation I've had with some of the loan officers here on business and personal loans, are scores for trying to get those loans.
All right. So Mr. Derek Coleman, if you would like that information, get with me and I will get you in touch with Mr. Corey and he can help you out with that. And if you have any questions about what he's talked about today concerning the 100% financing and what Cadence Bank offers, then please post it on our Facebook Live. We'll be happy to go over it. So is there anything else that you haven't said in this last 5 minutes concerning 100% financing that you want to touch on?
I think I've touched on pretty much.
I know we covered a lot of information.
Yeah, we have. Pretty much I've touched on what we have as far as 100% financing. Let me go through here on my notes. Yeah, VA, we did the RD, right at home, we did the medical professionals. Next week or next show, I would like to touch on some of the things that we have here as far as we have our construction projects, construction of perm and renovation of perm. So I would definitely looking forward to going over some of the things that we have to offer. We knowing that in this market, prices, houses are high, then some are expecting their people have been getting priced out of, purchasing a home. So we have an alternative for that. If you say, hey, my budget is this, the next thing you say, if I'm approved for this about 300,000, 250, 350, whatever it may be, would it be advantageous for me to build what I want, specifically what I want, how I want it, versus to out here trying to shop the market and trying to purchase something that may be cookie cutter or something that you may not like. So we have some products that I would like to touch on the next session, our construction perm, that would allow you to build your custom home the way you want it, and do it all in one whop. Typically on the construction financing, you have to do a construction, you have to do a land purchase, you have to do the contractor, and then you have to refinance all that and do your long term in the long run for your long haul, as far as 30, 20, 15, however many years you're trying to do it. We have a product now that we offer all that in one whop. Do the land acquisition, the bill, and your long term financing. Do that all in one closing. So it's a great product we have now. We definitely want to look into that, going over that in the next session.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are as well.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I think it's a great product, to be honest with you.
So something to look forward to for next month. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you, Mr. Corey. We appreciate you coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you all at KLEK, and thank you, LJ, for being with me on this journey. And I really, really appreciate you all allowing us to get this information out there to the public. I think it's some great things people need to know, just to have in the arsenal, to adapt in this thing we call life, to go ahead and accomplish and succeed.
Yes, sir. So thank you guys so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. And thank you guys so much for listening and supporting KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you.
Okay.